Hey guys, welcome to Wrench to Drive, Hillbilly Drift Edition. So, had the truck body back onto the good old Arrma Senton, and we did a little drifting, and there was some success and some fail, guys. So the first time out, these are do-it-yourself, beefed-up, cheapo street tires, and as you can see, hopefully, there's a little difference on the outside half of the tire here. That is Shoe Goo, stiffening up the sidewall and adding a little meat to the tread, guys. And on the front, we have same deals, but Shoe Goo on the inside, and the outside tread left alone. And on the inside, stiffening up the sidewall. So the first run, guys, I had the ones that are on the front, the ones with the Shoe Goo on the inside, on the back, and vice versa. In the back, I'm running quite a bit of camber, guys. And that was a huge fail because the Shoe Goo is very firm, very solid. It's definitely got more oomph to it than the rubber that these tires are made of. Tires are a little soft stock, guys. And the car was sliding around uncontrollably, guys. It was like driving on ice. Yeah, it wasn't working. It was a huge fail. Really, really slick, guys. So I swapped them around. I put the backs on the fronts and the fronts on the back because I figured, well, that should work better. It's got the meat on the back where it needs it on the outside, so that when it goes rolling over, the sidewalls are stiff and there's a little more meat there to keep it from wearing. And on the inside, nice and soft, should hook up really good. And on the fronts, they're running a much more neutral setup, so in theory this shouldn't be as big of a deal. And sure enough, guys, it worked much better. So that was the win, guys. These tires actually do work pretty well. When you see the first run, you'll be thinking, oh, that's terrible, like geez, it was sliding around so bad. Yes, it was. Swapping them around made a huge difference. When I set the back to closer to zero camber, closer to stock again, guys, I expect that to improve. Now, in the thumbnail picture, you might have noticed I had a broken arm, guys. Yeah, broken 3D printed suspension arm. And these were definitely a disappointment, guys, and a bit of a surprise. So I had run one on the front, and I had run two on the back, guys. And in defense of this arm, the hit that it took was actually much harder than it looked. There was some concrete work being done by a curb that I did not realize. Last time I had been there, it was basically smooth. This time I just kind of went cruising over to this one area, and you'll see it on the video, and I hit the curb. Or, well, not curb, it's like it's a big hunk of concrete with two big ditches on either side now, and clearly I hit something hard enough to break this arm, guys. It snapped instantly. Total destruction, guys. The front one was a crash going kind of into a ditch with the car coming in really heavy on the one side, guys, and it broke that arm. So I mean, they were nothing hits for stock Arrma parts, nice nylon parts, guys. They were, fairly heavy hits for 3D printed parts. The reason this was so surprising to me was I had previously run 3D printed arms on my 4S Creighton / Outcast, long wheelbase 4S, guys. And they had held up better than I thought. Like, I did a little jumping, rolled a few times, did a couple of cartwheels, arms stayed in one piece. I was pretty surprised, guys, and to be honest, a little impressed. I finally broke one of the front ones. I basically, pretend this is the front, guys. I hit a metal pole right on the tire, guys, and that's what broke the arm eventually. So, duh. I mean, that's the kind of situation that broke my stock arms. So, not entirely unexpected, guys. I figured that with these arms being so much shorter, less torque being applied, guys, I thought they would last longer. I thought that the Senton wouldn't be putting as much torque onto those arms when you take a hit than the Creighton 4S was. And I'm not quite sure what the deal is, guys, because this orange plastic here, pretty solid, guys. It's very flexy. I did a video. I hate 3D printing, and I kind of go into why the inconsistencies in plastic are super annoying. Well, this roll, if anything, I expect it to be more durable. So, this is a bit of a head scratcher, although, like I said, it was a harder hit than it looks, 100%. Like, in real life, it sounded not good. It sounded like one of those hits where you go, ooh, what did I just do? In any car, if you have a bad enough hit, you're likely to break something. So it might not be as bad as it seems, but given that I broke a front arm real easy and a back arm real easy, I'm thinking these arms aren't the way to go, guys. Like, just buy the arms. The nice thing is, you can see the back knuckles are totally fine. The knuckle where the arm broke is totally fine. The front knuckles and C-hubs are totally fine. They've taken hits and no damage whatsoever. And the reason, if you haven't seen the videos, guys, the reason I made those knuckles is that I'm actually running 4S stub shafts so that I can use the 4S 17mm hexes with these 17mm hex tires, guys, and it works really well. And the reason you have to do that is those shafts are a little bit longer and they run a different outer wheel bearing because they're 8mm shafts, guys. So I had all those parts kicking around, so all I had to do was 3D print up some knuckles and I was good to go. And you know, I was a little concerned, like if those knuckles weren't very strong, I'd just be breaking them willy-nilly, and you know, it might not pay off to actually bother with that. Well, yeah, they're holding up pretty well, guys. The knuckles I'm happy with. They're not bad at all. The arms, different story, like I said. So that's the bad. So the good, the Shoe Goo tires, they're definitely going to provide a little more life than they do just out of the box, guys. And these are cheap, dirt cheap, $24 for a set. Cheap street tires, guys, and the only downside to them is the sidewalls are a little soft, the rubber is quite grippy, and they do not hold up super well to major power and abuse. But as you can see, adding a little Shoe Goo, when you watch the drifting video here, guys, sliding around pretty good. The tires are holding up okay, guys. It's in my opinion, it's totally worth doing, guys. And I got another set of these that I am absolutely going to put some Shoe Goo on to try and improve the life. So there you go, guys. Enjoy the video, and we'll see you next time on Wrench to Drive, where we ask the eternal question: do you drive to wrench, or do you wrench to drive?